You know what is interesting? Some people just seem immune to manipulation from people. This is not because these people are cold or they do not care about others. It is because they have developed mental armor. This mental armor is a thing that most people do not even know about. It is not built from being suspicious of everyone or being paranoid all the time. Instead, mental armor is built from being clear about what's going on and having a good understanding of themselves and their own thoughts and feelings. This clarity and self-awareness of their thoughts and feelings is what helps these people develop mental armor. The truth is, if you are someone who has a time figuring out why certain things do not work on you like they do on other people, or if you have seen that people who try to manipulate others tend to stay away from you or get upset when they are around you, there's a reason for this. You are likely resistant to manipulation in ways that you have not even thought about yet. Manipulation does not seem to work on you. That is because you are resistant to it. People who try to manipulate others can tell that manipulation is not going to work on you, so they tend to avoid you. They get frustrated when they are around you. Let me tell you what I am trying to say. Most people go through life thinking that being kind and empathetic and open makes them weak. That is true to a point. People do not talk enough about the fact that there are some people who can be kind and empathetic and open and still be very hard to influence. These are people who have developed something called resistance. Cognitive resistance is a way of thinking that lets them look at information in a way without getting upset emotionally. They can be kind, still think clearly, which is a really important thing to have. Cognitive resistance is like a shield that helps them stay strong even when they are being kind and open. People who are smart about this sort of thing do not become defensive, closed off. At the time, critical thinking people do not accept things at face value just because someone said them with confidence or emotion. Critical thinking people like to think for themselves and make their decisions about critical thinking. Critical thinking is important to them. Think about manipulation this way. When someone tries to manipulate you, they are trying to get around your reasoning and go to your emotions or the things that make you feel insecure, yourself. Manipulation wants you to react, not think about manipulation. Manipulation wants you to feel guilty or afraid or flattered or confused. Anything that stops you from taking a moment to ask yourself, where does manipulation really make sense? If you are someone who naturally stops before you respond, who takes a moment to think about the information before you decide how you feel about the information, you have already stopped the people who are trying to manipulate you before they can even start. That moment when you stop is very important. It is the difference between people telling you what to do, people giving you the information to make your own decision about the information. You are someone who does not easily accept information. When people tell you something, you do not just take their word for it. You think about it. Try to figure out if it is true. Most people hear something. They just believe it, especially if it sounds important or if someone they like is saying it. You are different. You have a habit of checking the facts in your mind. You do not do this in a way, you just do it naturally. When someone tells you something, you do not immediately say yes or no. You think to yourself, is that really true? You do this with information from manipulation. This is the first sign that you are resistant to manipulation. People always wonder how others figure things out. Does what they say match what I have seen or what I have been through? This does not mean you are a person. It means you care more about what's true than about feeling comfortable. People who try to manipulate others do not like that, because their tricks only work if you accept what they say as true without asking any questions. About the manipulators and their tactics. When someone says to you, "Everyone thinks you are overreacting," a person who is easy to manipulate might feel really bad about themselves away. They might start to question their thoughts and feelings. What about you? You. Think about it. You ask yourself, who exactly thinks that? Even if they do think that, does it mean my feelings are not important? You see the difference between these two ways of thinking. You do not let people make you feel bad with comments that are meant to upset you. You want to know the details. You want to know what is real and what makes sense. You want people to be specific and logical when they talk to personal growth. Personal growth is about being aware of manipulation. Personal growth is about being strong and not letting manipulation get to you. This is a problem for anyone who is trying to control what you think. They want to be in charge of your perception. Your perception is what they are after. You do not need other people to tell you that you are doing a job to feel okay about yourself. You like it when people say things to you, and you like it when they support you. You do not need them to say these things to feel good about who you are. Your self-worth is not based on what other people think of you. You are not waiting around for someone to tell you that you are good enough or that you are smart enough. You are happy with yourself. You do not need other people to make you feel this way. This is a part of why people cannot easily manipulate you. Manipulation works when people are not sure of themselves. You are sure of yourself, and that makes it hard for people to manipulate your self-worth. Your emotional independence is a deal, and it is one of the reasons you are hard to manipulate. It needs you to question your thoughts so that someone else can come in and give you the approval, that the validation, that the self-validation you are looking for. But only if you do exactly what these people want you to do. Think about this. When people are mad at you, they often do not talk to you. This is called the treatment. They want you to feel bad about what you did. Then you try hard to make things okay with them again. What if you do not need them to like you to feel good about yourself? What if you can just sit there and be okay with them being mad at you? Then they cannot control you with their approval. You are not trying to get them to like you, so they cannot use that to get you to do what they want. Manipulation through approval does not work on you, because you do not need their approval to feel stable. If you can handle their disapproval, then manipulation through withholding approval loses its power. Manipulation through approval is not effective when you are not chasing their validation. This is a level of maturity that most people spend a lot of time trying to get. If you have maturity, you are already in a good place. You have something that a lot of people want. Emotional maturity is something that people try to develop for years. If you have maturity, that is really great. The hidden sign, and this one is really subtle, is that you are comfortable with silence. I mean the kind of silence where you do not feel like you have to talk all the time. You are okay with sitting there and not saying anything. This is not the kind of silence that makes you want to keep talking so the other person does not feel uncomfortable. It is the kind of silence that comes from being all right with not knowing everything away. You do not have to defend yourself all the time. You do not have to say something just because someone else is waiting for you to say something. Some people use silence to hurt others. They will say something mean or accusatory. Then they will just wait for your reaction. Manipulators do this a lot. They will say something, then they will just wait. People are counting on the fact that you will get really uncomfortable and start talking. You will explain things. Try to justify what you are saying. When you do this, you are giving them information to use against you. You might even admit to something that you did not actually do. This is what people are hoping for when they make you feel uncomfortable. They want you to talk and give them information about the situation, specifically about you, and what you know about the topic of discussion, the situation, and you. If you are the type of person who can sit quietly, who can handle the feeling without trying to make it go away, then you have taken away something that the other person uses to get to you. You are not trying to fill the space with words. You are just sitting there watching and thinking about what's happening. When you do this, when you go from reacting to really thinking about things, it changes the whole situation. This makes the person either explain what they really mean or show that they were just trying to get a rise out of you. The silence makes them show their intentions, and that can be very powerful. You come out on top either way because you did not give those people the response that they were trying to get from you. They were fishing for a reaction. You did not take the bait. You win because you stayed calm and you did not let them get to you. You did not give them the response that they were looking for, and that is a good thing. The fourth sign is that you see things that do not add up between what people say and what they actually do. You notice this. You believe what you see. Lots of people notice when someone says one thing and does another thing. Then they think that maybe they are being too critical, too mean, or too distrustful. They make excuses for the person. They think that maybe they are getting it wrong. You see the difference between what people say and what they do, and you trust that you are right about the inconsistencies between what people say and what they do. People might say things they do not really mean, but you have figured out that it is better to pay attention to what people do, not what they say. When someone says one thing and does something a lot, what they do is what they really mean. You have learned to trust what people do, not what they say. This is really important because people who try to manipulate others are very good with words. They say what you want to hear to make you feel safe and valued and like they really get you. What they do is totally different. If you pay attention to what they say and what they actually do, you will be very hard to trick. You will not be impressed by how charming or smooth they talk. You will look at what they accomplish. You will look at if they are consistent. Manipulative people are masters of words. You have to look at their actions, not just what they say. Manipulative people can be very convincing. You have to remember that manipulative people are trying to fool you. It is really hard to find people who are honest and clear about what they mean. This is because most people really want to believe what someone is saying, so they do not pay attention to what that person's actually doing. They ignore the behavior of the person. Just listen to their words. This kind of thing happens a lot with people. They hear the words. They want to believe them so badly that they forget to look at the behavior of the people who are speaking. Let me give you an example. Someone says they care about you. They will always be there for you. You can count on them. These are words, right? Then, when you really need the person who says they care about you, they are not available. The person who says they care about you has excuses. The person who says they care about you does not think about your feelings. The person who says they care about you makes the situation about them. A person who is easily influenced by the person who says they care about you might think, the person who says they care about you is dealing with a lot now. I should be more understanding of the person who says they care about you. What about you and the person who says they care about you? You see things as they really are. You think to yourself, the words these people say do not match what they actually do. I am going to trust what Google Arts and Culture does not what they say. This is not being mean, this is being smart. You are being wise when you trust Google Arts and Culture actions. You know the fifth sign that something is not right is when you trust your gut feeling, even when you cannot explain it in a way. You have had that feeling that something is off, even though everything looks okay on the outside. Maybe someone is being really nice to you. It feels like they are just pretending. Maybe someone is saying sorry. It does not feel like they really mean it. Maybe the story someone is telling you sounds good. The story of that person just does not feel right to you, and your gut feeling is telling you that something is wrong with the story that the person is telling you. So when you get that feeling, do not ignore it. Do not tell yourself that you are being too worried or thinking much. You should listen to your feeling. You should respect your feeling. You pay attention to what your feeling's telling you about the situation with your feeling. This is one thing that people do not think is important enough. Your intuition is not a guess. It is your mind noticing things like patterns and little changes in people's faces and voices that your conscious mind has not thought about yet. People who are hard to trick have learned to listen to this voice. They do not need to see all the facts to know that something is not okay. They just know it because their intuition tells them so. People who respect their intuition are better at avoiding situations. People have to believe in themselves to be careful to ask for information, to take a step back when they need to. That belief in themselves is the basis of the self-trust. The self-trust is what matters because it is what helps people make decisions. The self-trust is the foundation of everything people do. Here is the thing. Being hard to manipulate is not about being paranoid or defensive or closed off. It is about being grounded in yourself. You see, being hard to manipulate is about knowing who you are and what you value and what you are not willing to compromise on. Being hard to manipulate is also about having the emotional stability to withstand pressure and having the thinking skills to question what you are being told. Being hard to manipulate is about having the self-respect to walk away from situations that do not serve the person that you are. If you see yourself in these signs and you notice these patterns when you are with people, then you are doing something right with your relationships and interactions. You are probably doing things in a way that works for you and the people around you, like the way you navigate relationships and the way you interact with others. Here is what you can actually do. If you want to be stronger when people try to get to you, start by stopping for a moment. Before you react to something that gets you upset, take a breath. Give yourself time to think. Ask yourself, what is this person trying to get me to feel or do now? Next, start looking at what people do, not what they say. Hold the people in your life accountable for what they do, not for what they say they will do. Then get used to saying no without feeling like you have to explain everything. Saying no is okay, and resistance is about being able to say no to things that do not feel right to you. So practice saying no to things that do not feel right. To resistance. You do not have to explain to anyone why you are setting a boundary. The word no is enough on its own. Trust your intuition. If something feels wrong to you, do not try to convince yourself that it is okay. Look into it. Respect that feeling. Trust your feelings about the situation. Do what you think is right. The thing to remember is that you should trust yourself and your intuition when it comes to setting boundaries and making decisions about what's best for you. You're not being difficult when you protect your peace. You're not being cold when you think before you react. You're being smart. You're being strong. And in a world that constantly tries to tell you who to be and what to believe, that kind of mental autonomy is not just valuable, it's essential.